Good morning, everybody. This is Martin John, and this is Tao of the Day. Tao of the Day looks at the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is an ancient text written about 600 BCE, and it is a text um, that really kind of covers what it means to live a reasonable life. Living a reasonable life, as it relates to this text, is how can you live your life without asking others to do anything to make your life better? Right? Like your life is yours, and every experience you have is your experience that you get to grow and learn from. And all of those experiences are part of your life. And oftentimes we like to think that the world around us is having the same experience we are. And we like to bulk everybody into a similar experience that we are. We often say, like, everybody does this. And really, nobody does that. But you do. And so because you do, you think everybody else does. And then maybe you have like some people in your life that you talk to, and it seems like they're having some of the same experiences you are. But the reason they're having those experiences and the way that they express those experiences may be completely different if you didn't express it, or if other people didn't express in the same way. And so we look at the Tao, we look at the Tao in a way that helps us live a more reasonable life. When we can live in a reasonable way, when we can live in a way that is free from um, others, others' influence, and when we can live in a way that is free from, being dictated and us living under the influence of other things around us, well, then we get to be who we really are. And what a great treat that is. Because when we're able to be who we are, then we get to really embrace everything. I wrote one the other day, or I was going over one the other day, and I was writing some notes about it. And there's this idea that, you know, other people influence us to such a degree that we often think that they're us. You ask people, like, well, what do you want in your life? And everyone says the same thing, right? Everybody wants the same shit, right? But really, everybody wants it differently, and everybody has different ways of looking at it. And so it's such an important aspect to be able to just step back and enjoy ourselves without the influence of others. So, if you are ready to explore the Tao and to explore what's going on in your life, I invite you to come up and pick a number between 1 and 81. That's how this room works. You pick a number between 1 and 81. You don't have to know anything about the Tao at all. You pick a number, and then we will read that Tao together, and then we'll go over it line by line to see how it relates to your life and how it might have information on how you can live a more reasonable life. So I just saw a title here called The Cycle. Um, and it's number 51. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this as my Tao for the day. And if anybody wants to step up, please be my guest and come up and we'll talk about the Tao. So the cycle goes: life is a gift received from Tao. It sustains all things as part of that gift. Everything emerges perfect, unconscious, and free, harmonizing with all things, completely maturing in its own time. All things exist and are nurtured through Tao. It fosters and provides for them completely. Tao does not possess or interfere, each expressing and maturing in their own nature. When their when their experience is complete, Tao receives them again. It's interesting. Like this one, I'm reading this one. It's just really just two two different, because it's broken up into two stanzas. If this were a poem, it's broken up into two stanzas. I think, like the first 5 lines and the last 6 lines, and and it's really repetitive, right? Life is a gift received from Tao. That's the first line we come, and then the first line of um Let me read the first and second. Life is a gift received from Tao. It sustains all things as part of that gift. Okay, so that's pretty clear. Life, we receive the gift, and Tao supports that gift by supporting and sustaining us. Then we look at the first line of the second stanza, which is all things exist and are nurtured through Tao. It fosters and provides for them completely. Right? Like that is very similar. That's very, very similar to what it says in the beginning. And this is a cycle, right? And so this is called the cycle of life. And there is repetitive things that happen in our lives. And so there's something interesting going on here with the text when we start looking at this idea that, like, oh, that's repetitive. Like, you're telling me it's a gift, and then you're telling me that it nurtures me. Of course, well, that nurturing is a gift. To be able to be nurtured by something is always a gift. So life is a gift received from Tao. Tao gave us life. It's a gift, and we get to enjoy that gift. Now, we can enjoy that gift however we want. We don't have to do it in the way that our parents did it. We don't have to do it in the way that our culture does it. We don't have to do it in any specific way at all. Oftentimes, what happens is we live under the influence of others, and then we go to school and we go to get a job and we go to be these people that everybody sees around them, right? So, but life is your gift, right? It is not something that someone else gets to dictate. It's like you don't have to go out and do anything that other people do. You want to walk around naked and stuff, that's fine. Now, of course, like there are consequences to everything, so I don't want to kind of utilize that as a thing. But if you want to live your life differently than other people, you are free to do that. And it's as it says here, it sustains all things as part of that gift. It will, Tao will sustain you in what you want to do as you start to break from all of the influence that you currently are living under. So if you are currently living under the influence of something and are starting to try and get out from under the influence of those things, well, that's going to be difficult because you are so heavily influenced by those things. And you have been for so long that it's real important that you get yourself to a place where you can step away from it. So life is a gift received from Tao. It sustains all things as part of that gift. Everything emerges perfect, unconscious, and free, harmonizing with all things. This is when you are born, right? You're perfect, unconscious, and free, harmonizing with all things, completely maturing in its own time. As you mature, as you grow, as you change, you may fall under the influence of some things in your life. And as you fall under the influence of those things, you get the opportunity to grow back into yourself. You get the opportunity to recover yourself, as I would say. All things exist and are nurtured through Tao. It fosters and provides for them completely. And that's an important thing, right? Like it fosters and provides for them completely. That's the sustaining all things as part of that gift. It's going to provide for you. Now, you can be afraid and you can bring in all of those influences that you have around you that tell you, well, if you don't do this, then you can't have this, and you're not worthy of this, or if you're not this, and then you can't be that, and all of those sorts of ideas, those can come in, and that's fine, but you have to recognize that Tao is providing for you. Tao does not possess or interfere, each expressing and maturing in their own nature. This is a big deal. I remember talking to Allison Sutton, I think her name is, here on Wisdom, and she was talking, and we were having a conversation um, about intuition, and like as an addict, when I was struggling with addiction years and years ago, I realized that Tao was a gift that I was receiving, and because I wanted to be drunk or I wanted to be high, well, Tao and my intuition would guide me to the things that I wanted, would guide me to the drugs, would guide me to alcohol, would guide me to people that would put me in those positions and put me in relation to those things that I wanted. So Tao doesn't possess or interfere. Tao doesn't care How do you want to use this? And you're going to mature in your own nature, each expressing and maturing in their own nature. I expressed by being an addict, and then now I expressed by talking about the Tao, and I expressed by being an artist, and I expressed in all of these different ways. And I did it, and I matured in my own nature, the nature that I was born with. This isn't about like being something specific. It's about being you. It's not about being something like non-specific. Maybe I should say it is about being something specific. It's about being you, right? Like, so it's such an important aspect, is that we have received this gift of life through Tao, and so Tao, because it gave it to us, it is going to support us through it. And many times we can get into this place, and I know I've been here, I was here for years in this place of like, I'm alive, so it's your job to support me because I didn't ask to be alive. And that's the thing that Tao does, but it supports you without possessing or interfering. So if you want struggle, you will experience struggle. Now, whether or not you are aware that you want struggle, or whether like you are still being expressed and maturing in your own nature. And so you might not know your nature. You might have assumed your nature, and you might have assumed your position. And if you do, well, that's on you. That's nothing, it has nothing to do with Tao. Tao is going to support you in the way that you most need to be supported. When their experience is complete, Tao receives them again. Here's the thing. You complete your experience, whether or not you commit suicide, or whether or not you die of old age, or die of cancer, or whatever. All of those are your experience. This is an interesting verse, and I want to get to Julie, and I just want to kind of wrap this up by saying, like, if you've heard me talk about, we do have contracts before we're born, and those contracts are an important part of who we are. And when we can embrace those contracts and then learn in our nature with an open mind, then life will just get a little easier. We're going to bring Julie on, and we're going to see if she has a number, and then we're gonna go ahead and read that. Julie, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm all right. I saw your beautiful face and I thought,
Oh,
gotta chat to that guy.
gotta chat. Yeah. Hey, I haven't spoken to Energy Lady. Have you spoken to her?
I talk to her all the time.
Well, send her my best. I reached out
I
to her
will.
once and I didn't hear anything. I was wondering if she was well.
I will send her your regards and I shall say, go say hello to Martin, John.
Yeah, tell
I
tell
feel like,
tell her give me a again. Tell me give me a holler. It's
yeah,
been
I'll say, Martin John wants a hug. Go and do that.
yeah.
I've got a number for you.
Hit it.
57.
57.
Just popped in my head.
57. The title of this are Laws Are All in the Heart.
Mm.
Tao governs all things by discarding objectives, never possessing or interfering. All things only need abide the law in their heart. In this way, they are free from desire. When Tao is ignored, objectives rule the day. Rules are created that make people expend energy to get around them. Intelligence is praised and rewarded while products become more demonic and intrusive. Weapons are paraded, fear spreads, and the hearts of all things close off. As litigation becomes a national focus, politicians and criminals multiply. The master needn't engage these traps. She is quiet, and the people follow their light. She is peaceful, and people are compelled to be honest. She does nothing, and all things flourish together. Have no desire, and all things will achieve primal existence.
What a good one I chose, hey?
Hey. So what are some of your thoughts on that one? What do you think is being said here?
I think that it is, to me, what I'm reading into it is do as the moment requires, nothing more, nothing less.
Hmm.
Take what you can see, observe it, but don't necessarily invest in it. That's
Yeah.
what I'm reading
There's
there.
this real important line in this that objectives rule the day. When Tao is ignored, objectives rule the day.
Yeah,
Like you have a goal. You have
a
this
plan.
idea. You have a plan, right? You have this destination that you're heading for. And when Tao is ignored, that's what happens. So it's like this word objective, I think, is really important because it's in that first line as well, which Tao governs all things by discarding objectives.
Yeah. In other words, does it feel right?
Yeah.
Is it, if you have sort of a loose plan, say, if you're going to listen to the Tao, if you're going to pay a heed to what is,
Hmm.
then you can choose whether to sit with it and allow what's going to happen, or you are going to have an objective. So then, when you have that objective, it becomes hard work. And as you know from me, and I confess this many, many times, and I'm quite proud of it, I'm lazy,
Yeah.
which allows me actually to sit with and not always have objectives.
Yeah.
Because what will come will come. So when the time is right, it will present itself. I won't have to go looking for it. I won't have to go and plan. It will
Yeah.
come, and it does work. It does work.
Now, when you say you're lazy, that's a beautiful thing to be able to, but there are times where laziness gets you to avoid things. And then that
Yeah,
needs to
that's
be closed
different.
off. There's a difference, right? Like when you're
Yeah.
lazy and you're still, you can be like, "Oh, it's time now to do the thing that I'm needing to do."
Yes, the time will present itself. So
Right.
that, in other words, that is my kind of lazy. My kind of lazy isn't to avoid. It is
Right.
I will know in my heart. So I'm following my heart, my essence,
Yeah.
and it will present itself, and I will observe that, and then I will take action in that moment. And
That's
that is
beautiful.
not lazy. It just means that I don't have to work hard. I don't have to go against that grain, that weave. I can
Yeah.
just follow the weave and it will be there. Then I
Yeah.
can work with it.
And this that ties so beautifully into the next line, which is never possessing or interfering. Like
Yeah.
it's not yours. You're not trying to dictate. You're not trying to interfere and make things your way. This is the way it is.
Yeah.
Tao governs all things by discarding objectives, never possessing or interfering. All things only need abide the law in their heart. In this way, they are free from desire.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like when you all you have to do is follow your heart, and in that way you can be free. You can free yourself from all that, objective desirous stuff.
Or even to a degree, you free yourself from creating a feeling. You prevent yourself. You kind of ease yourself not to be fearful of things because it will be. It just is as it presents itself. So
Yeah.
if I'm going into something and then I have someone appears on my boat, maybe,
Hmm.
and I'm not great with people, say,
Yeah.
and I find it frightening or I find anxiety in conversing with people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and search someone to come and sit on my boat so that I can project that anxiety.
Hmm.
It's just going to happen. So therefore, I'm not going to be anxious because it's just what it is, and I've given no filter to it, no thought to it, no injection of myself into it. You know, that kind of mental thing. It's just going to be free flowing. The person arrives, I chat to them because it's easy because they've come to me. The
Right.
Dow's brought them into my presence there on my boat, and I'll put the kettle on and they can brew, and it will all be fine. It's all cool when you let things just come to you and you don't strive or plan, because
Yeah.
then you don't project what you think is going to happen in the process.
And that's where we really kind of get into in this next group of lines, which is really just like kind of ominous a little bit.
Mm,
When Tao is ignored, objectives rule the day. Okay, so this is when we start to say, okay, this is what's happening when the Tao is ignored. The first line is rules are created that make people expend energy to get around them.
mm,
You know, like as soon as there is an objective to get everybody on the same page, you have to do this. You have to, like this is what it looks like to be a good citizen. This is the objective that we have where we're going to ignore the down. We're going to make rules. We're going to make rules on how to be.
mm,
Like if you think about like diets, people can only stay on a diet for so long before they're going to break that. And then then like even for me with my diet, when I want to break my diet, I'm like, oh well, I was good on my diet for this long, and today I can cheat. It's like even that is like, I mean, maybe for me it's a little less of expending energy, but a lot of people try and convince themselves that it's okay to not be exactly what other people want them to be
yeah,
you know and then intelligence is praised and rewarded while products become more demonic and intrusive.
yeah,
So I look at that and I see social media today, I see government today, I see like AI today, I see all of these things where it's like the more people want to try and buck the system, right? If rules are created that make people expend energy to get around them, then people are getting around the rules. And then when you praise intelligence and reward, when intelligence is praised and reward while products become more demonic and intrusive, they're trying to get people to follow the rules. They're
yeah.
trying to get people to fall into line. They're trying to get people to do more social media. They're trying to get people to, work harder for less money. They're trying to get
Trying
people to
to
do all. Yeah,
control.
they want control
Yeah,
because the Tao is ignored and they can't predict what people are going to do. And they
yeah,
want to. So they create rules. And then
yeah,
when people try to get around those rules, they make products that become more demonic and intrusive.
yeah,
Weapons are paraded, fear spreads, and the hearts of all things close off. I don't know if they're like, I don't know if we've ever, like, maybe, but like, we look at the world today and we're seeing this kind of like, this. I mean, I know I've seen this happen in my lifetime. And I know, like, during World War II, this was happening, like, but like we're seeing this really widespread around the world, like weapons being paraded, fear being spread,
yes,
and the
yes,
hearts of things closing off.
yeah. It's what I call uh, promotion of division.
Yes.
That is the best way I can describe it. So, it's not necessarily as in nuclear warheads and stuff like that, but is also of opinions or of followers, leaders,
Hmm.
societies. It's all promoting division
Right.
as well
Weaponizing
as,
words, weaponizing all sorts of stuff.
yes, yes,
And this last line of this verse is, or this section is, as litigation becomes a national focus, politicians and criminals multiply. Like we see this idea of like, even politicians becoming like famous people,
yeah,
rather than just being politicians. And it's like,
yeah.
well, why do you want to be famous if you're a politician? Like what is that?
Where is your aim, to be
That's right.
famous
Do you
or
have an
to be
objective?
political? Yes.
Yes. Do you have an objective? Because if you have an objective, then we're talking about a different kind of governing.
Yes.
Now we talk about the master governing, and the master needn't engage these traps. She is quiet, and people follow their light. She is peaceful, and people are compelled to be honest. She does nothing, and all things flourish together.
Wow.
And that's the thing. She is quiet, and people follow their light. Well, politicians who are not quiet want people to follow them.
Mm.
She is peaceful, and people are compelled to be honest. Like, have you ever like if someone is being peaceful and nice to you, you're not really compelled to lie and cheat because they're being peaceful.
Because your
You know?
guard is then dropped.
Right.
If someone is peaceful, then you have no defense.
That's right.
So
There's no
then the
need to be
truth,
defensive.
yeah, the truth then seeps and pours out of you. That's what happens when trust is there,
And when you
when
parade
peace is there.
weapons,
Yeah,
when you parade weapons and fear, then all of a sudden people's hearts close off and they can't be honest.
yeah,
That's
they
how
become
that's how so
guarded.
many people fought like killed so many people during World War II. They
Yeah,
were just convinced in doing that because their hearts were closed off.
yeah. Well, if I had to go out and fight a war now and I had to stand on the front line with a stick, I think I'd be pretty frightened.
Absolutely.
Fear closes you off.
That's right. And she
So,
does nothing and all things flourish together. That's the thing.
yeah,
She doesn't have to, the leader doesn't have to, like, you just have to let the people flourish, and they will. When there are no objectives, then everything will reach the objective that it needs to reach without us having to dictate what that is.
yeah. And sometimes you don't have to see it. You
That's right.
don't
You
have
don't have
to
to know.
witness it.
You don't have to define it.
That's right. Yeah. And I like that the best. That's the thing that I love most
Yeah.
is, your, or for me, say, my persona or how I live my life or what I do means nothing to me towards other people, but it is lovely when you see beautiful kind of results because it goes from you, through you, out into that ether, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't always notice it, but it's there. Yeah.
This last line, and we'll end here: have no desire, and all things will achieve primal existence. Thank you so much. And as I see that primal existence thing, it's like at its core, that's who we are, And if we could just let go of trying to predict what it is, then and what we are, and trying to define it, then we can allow ourselves to be it. Lois, Lois,
Oh, hey.
good
Yeah,
morning.
it's
Hey,
like,
did I
good
wake you?
morning. How you doing? No, the phone is on the other, I'm sitting in the backyard and the phone is was on the table. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
shoot.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
me.
Oh, shoot, I got it.
How you doing, my brother?
I am doing very well. I'm doing very well. I got Andy is visiting me here in Chicago. She's out on a run right now, and I am. And next, I think it's the week after next is her birthday, and I'll be in New York, and we'll be hanging out for her birthday, and I'm doing really well over here in Chicago, and I got some, I got a lot going on in my life right now, and I'm really excited about it. So we'll
Oh,
be
all good, right?
yes, all good, all good.
That's
Everything is
good.
beautiful. So,
I love it
and
when it's all
yourself,
good.
how's my dear?
I am great. I am great. I'm out here in California getting ready to officiate my nephew's wedding on Saturday, and I'm so
Oh,
fucking
go on.
excited. No,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I've been trying to contain my excitement, especially when I was talking to him and his fiance, and we had a little interview on last Saturday, and I was trying to I had to hold my hands together, like clapping them together, and just hold like
Yeah.
you know how you can fold your hands when you're a kid,
Yep.
in order to hold my excitement back.
Yeah.
Oh, so
We
I'm
gotta,
very excited.
that's beautiful. I'm so excited for you. That's, and for them, and like just to be able to, have that all be done like with so much love and so much,
Yes.
just happy.
See, and my sister, his mother, is giving him away. She's gonna walk him down the aisle because his dad is his best
Good.
man. That's beautiful. I'm just
Eh,
I'm just excited about it. You know, it's just I love I'm in love with love. Okay, I ain't gotta
Yeah,
have nobody to be in love with. I'm in love with love, and
absolutely.
any expression of it is like, hey, let me be over there. I want to come over there with the love. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because we're
anyway,
gonna
I
share all
can't think
this.
of a
It's so beautiful.
number. I guess because I haven't seen you in so long. I was just excited to see you and talk to you.
Oh yeah. Well, let's come up with a
Let me
number because we want to
see.
talk a little.
Okay, let's say, you know what? Are you still there?
Yeah, where'd you go?
Oh, I didn't go anywhere. My
Oh,
must
okay.
I think 20. Let's try 24. That's Saturday for me.
24. Do what is to be done. Standing on tiptoes robs you of firm footing. Rushing ahead robs you of knowing who you are. Looking at yourself robs you of seeing. Boasting of yourself robs you of your brilliance. Overpowering others robs you of your power. Clinging to your work robs you of longevity. If you want to align with Tao, just do what is to be done and then stop.
That is so good. Because that's what I'm about. I just do what needs to be done. I ain't worrying about nothing because I was talking to somebody else and they were talking about me on this app. And I said, I ain't got no damn agenda.
That's right. Yeah.
I just come
Yeah,
on here
like there's
because
no there's no
I
there's no
am.
end to nothing.
No, to me, it's like, what are you here for? I'm not there to promote no business. I ain't there to promote me. I'm just there to promote love. That's my agenda.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just do that. I come in, I come in, I stick, I move. Okay, I don't.
That's
Sometimes I
right.
don't even stick around and talks. I go in and say what I need to say, what I was told to say, because I only go on inspiration,
Mm.
and then I leave, and I don't have no business.
I see this
But the
also, like I
fact
see,
that we love.
and I compare this to what's going on with, your niece and you officiating it and everything, and it's
My
like,
nephew,
your
the
nephew.
niece's,
Oh,
my sister's oldest son, Lisa
oh, your nephew.
Felicia's oldest son. I
Oh,
only got one sister, so
oh,
ah,
okay.
so yeah, her oldest
So
son.
so yeah, so your nephew, like as you're holding your hands and like, excited with all of this, it's like being able to take a deep breath and soak it in, you know, just do what
Mm-hmm.
is to be done and then stop, right? Like be
Yes.
here, be with this, love this moment as it is, like, and as we look at marriage, it's so or not marriage as much as a wedding, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
so much like planning and so much, it's got to go right in this way, it's got to be this way, and like I think heading into this, like, as we look at this, it's like rushing ahead robs you of knowing who you are. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
rush ahead to the wedding, it's like, who are you right now before that moment? And I'm not saying like for you as much as like,
Mm-hmm.
like let's look at people that are going into an event or going into changing their lives, like
Mm-hmm.
a wedding, after a wedding, shit changes.
Yeah, and I look at it as this like we're on this healing journey. A lot of
Yeah.
people, and including me, and I say a lot of
Hmm.
people because it's including me, like to frack because you want to hurry up and grow. So you want
Yeah.
to go and dig up shit. So
That's
they
right. You
say,
want to
do
do
I
it
need
quick.
do I need to fix this? Do I need to fix this? I need to. Oh, she fixed that. So let me go down here and dig in my backyard and get that out so
Mm.
I can fix that. And the thing is that that does you no good because what you need to dig, what needs to be dug up, comes up organically, and
Hmm.
you don't got to go digging for it. And if you go digging for it, you end up breaking up the ground for something that ain't even there. That ain't even, you're digging for a bone you didn't bury.
That's
You
right.
know,
And if you're
and
looking for something, you just keep digging until you find it. And if it's not there, then you're just
yeah,
looking. You're just
and
looking.
if it's not yours, when you find it, it's like, what the hell did I do that for? That's not mine. Why didn't I ask a question? Because I did that a few months back.
Yeah.
because I just was told I heard something and it sounded like, oh really? Oh, maybe I need to, and I not thinking, okay, Louis, you have your own journey. You've been on your own journey. If that was yours, you would have already seen it. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've learned, you just don't, you don't go digging for something that don't belong. You just be okay with where you are. When your shadow comes up to greet you, that's when you deal with it. You don't go digging for your shadow. You don't be like Peter Pan chasing your shadow.
Right.
You know, you just let it
Yeah.
come up. And when it comes up, you're ready to deal with it because it only comes up when you're ready to deal with it. All those repressed memories come up when you're in a mind state, in a spiritual state, or a physical state where you can handle them. If you bring it up any faster, you tend to do damage, which I did because I was such such a rant for trying to find it,
Right.
okay, and fix it, and it wasn't nothing broken, and it was
Hmm.
like, what the hell? And then because I did all that, of course, it set my vibration off because I'm out there digging for something I didn't bury,
Right. And so, how much
you know.
energy are you expending to do something that doesn't need to be done?
Exactly. So when I just let it be, okay, be in the moment, let it be. It comes up organically, and it generally has worked out real good because as it comes up organic, I can actually see it. I don't have to say, "Is that this? Is that that?"
Yeah. It's
That's how.
interesting
Go
as we
ahead.
look at this, number 24, like standing on tiptoes robs you of firm footing. And that keeps coming up as you're speaking in my mind, this idea that like, you know, sometimes we stand on tiptoes to see a little further away. I don't know how high,
Yes.
like, like try and see over
Mm-hmm.
the horizon or something. Like
That's
we,
right.
we tiptoe and we kind of like glance off into the distance, try and looking ahead. And it's like, oh, but we're not standing firm in who we are. When we're
That's
looking
right.
over other people's shoulders, when we're looking at what other people are doing, we're just like when we're trying to be a little taller, we're trying to look a little better or whatever, we're losing sight of being of firmly being on the ground.
And when you do that, when you're looking for a specific manifestation that you've been hoping or praying for, when you're looking, you are in a wrong vibration of it, and so you don't
Right.
get it. It's held off because you are looking for it. If you already know you have it, you ain't looking for it. You just having fun while you wait.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
and that's
like
a big difference.
yeah, and this is something that you just said a little bit ago. Rushing ahead robs you of knowing where you are. You're
Yeah,
trying to go digging for stuff. Maybe you have stuff there, but you're being robbed of where you are right now when you're
right
going to
now.
dig
Hmm.
something that ain't yours.
And then you're missing out on what is yours in the moment and the happiness that you could have if you weren't worrying about what you think you lost. No, or you think
Yeah.
you did, or did something you think, oh, that must be in my shit. Okay, because I know for me, it's always trying to. I was talking to my sister about this last night. I said, I've learned my lesson on rushing ahead. I may get an inkling of what's to come, or as the Bible calls it, a prophecy, where I'm seeing something that God is saying, okay, this is going to materialize for you. Okay, then I may take one idea, that one tiny nugget, and go run with it to the bank.
Mm,
Not letting it develop, not letting it come in its own time. I get the idea, and then I wanted to run out and go make it happen.
that's right.
That's not how we get it. That's not how to get it done. I learned this with doing the sickness stuff. Is that's not how to get it done. You put it out there and you let it go when
And
you
you just
said
let
you
it
get,
let it do what it's
and you
gonna
let
do.
it come, and you may say, you may ask question, is this it? Because you
And
may be
it's funny how
unsure.
like you cannot miss. If you're
Hmm.
asking, is this it?
Uh huh.
Like you're probably thinking too much.
Yes, exactly. You're too focused on it not being there.
That's right. That's right. You
Okay.
can't miss it. You
It'll be
can't
ridiculous.
miss it.
It's
You
like you
can't
can't.
fuck
It's
up
like you
what's for
can't
you.
miss. You can't miss an open door. Okay,
That's
if
right.
the door is damn it open, the door is open.
That's
Okay, the
right.
door is closed. The man may have a whole bunch of closed doors everywhere, but if you see a door open, the door is open. you
Walk
know
right through it.
so walk right through it, and that's how that to me, that's been my experience with God, and in the spirit, and the Tao, and whatever we want to call the energy that of
That's
love
right.
and all, is that when the door is always open when I walk up, like automatic, like a what you call that? The automatic door. Like we walk up to the grocery store and the door opens for you, and you don't
Yeah.
gotta push it. It just opens right in front of you, and you know it's it because it just opened right in front of you. So,
That's
but when you in that other thing where you're looking and tiptoeing and getting on your tippy toes and spying out the window,
yeah.
you're looking for something, and then because you're looking, you don't believe you have it. You
Right.
know,
And that's once
so
again, that's robbing you of firm footing. It's
that's
robbing you
robbing
of
you.
knowing who
That's
you
right.
are. It's robbing
That's
you of
right.
how you see. It's robbing you of your own brilliance,
Hmm.
your own power, your longevity. It
And it
robs
may
you
be
of those
giving
things.
you anxiety, and it may be
That's
giving
right.
you mental health issues, anxiety
That's
or
right.
depression because it ain't got there yet, or because you're anxious because oh my god, yeah, no, you can't get into that. You have to continue doing your life and having fun and just
Right.
being present. Just be. A new day. You just got, and it's a gift, and a gift is a present. You just got to be present for your present, and you got to
That,
have presence in your present. You can't
you know,
be
I was
somewhere
reading
else
about
in
that
your
earlier
present.
too. Yeah, that's
Really?
beautiful. You know, and this, this last line and the title of this, do what is to be done. If you want to align with Tao, just do what is to be done and then
Mm-hmm.
stop. Like, what's to be done today? Do you got to go out in the garden? You got to go shopping? Do you got to like call somebody? Do you got whatever you got to do? Go do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this objective, you have this outside idea of what is right and wrong, or where you should be, or what you should be doing, all this shouldn't on yourself, like all of that stuff kind of gets
Mm-hmm.
just gets in the way of you being the brilliant you that you are. And yeah, we're all living under the influence, but the more we can step away from it, just little by little, do what we can do right now to step
Mm-hmm.
away from those influences. And yeah, sometimes it'll be uncomfortable, but if you allow that discomfort to be without judgment, it's a little less
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable than you think.
You get peace. You get
Yeah,
peace. And peace is the best place to be. I just that was a very good one. Because you just do what you're supposed to do, handle your
do it.
business. That's it, and that's all. And the thing is, I'm going to add that if you do it from a love center, it makes it come out just that much better, that much bolder, that much faster, that much better. You know what I mean? It brings
Mm-hmm.
out the where they booyah. Remember that word?
Yeah,
It brings out the booyah. I was like, wow, if you're doing whatever you need to do or have to do with that love heart center. Like, I'm just gonna get in here. I'm gonna do the best job I can do. I'm gonna go in here. I gotta get dressed. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna dress the best for today. And this is how
yeah,
I feel. You know what I mean? It's not like you gotta go do a deed or oh I gotta go work on this car, so I gotta get all the best parts, all of this. No, you just gotta do your best. And
oh, you dropped off. Why don't you come back on? We'll land it, and then there we are. Yeah, you just got to do your best. Do what you do right now. You know what? Tomorrow you're going to do it better, but don't judge yourself today on what you could do tomorrow.
Yeah, and the whole thing is just spread your wings and fly. Just spread your
Yeah.
wings. Don't be worrying about, oh my God, I'm flying lower than them. Oh, I'm flying higher. Oh my God, it's an airplane in the sky. Just fucking fly.
Yeah.
Shit. And
That's
have fun with it. And have fun with it. If you're not having fun with what you're doing, you may want to rethink it because that's part of the reason why you're unhappy because you ain't having fun. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, but
We
I
need to
thank
have fun.
you. I
Absolutely. It's
thank
so
you. And
good.
I'm
I'm going
glad.
to give you a call. We're going to talk a little later. We'll have a little
Okay.
conversation. I'll give
All
you
right, yeah, I'm here. I'm open all day. I gotta go visit somebody and show them the Paris pictures,
a
but that's about
Oh,
all I got to do today.
all
So
right.
I'm available. But yeah, and
Yeah.
tell Andy I said hello, and I'm so happy for her, and happy birthday early, because I
Oh,
like to
yeah.
be. Well, you probably were the first to say it already, but I like to be the first to tell people happy birthday.
Well, yeah, you got it before me. I'm gonna make sure she's gifted well, but like I'm not. I'll tell her happy birthday on her birthday.
Okay,
All
but
right.
yeah, so I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Love you.
Okay,
Thank you.
I love you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. So yeah, standing on tiptoes robs you of firm footing. Like, when do you stand on tiptoes? You know, think about all of those times that you might find yourself standing on tiptoes. So nice. All right. Well, we went through a couple Tao today. I didn't write notes, but I'll have to go back and listen to them and then get it all up on the podcast and everything else. There is a Tao of the Day podcast. If you're interested in learning more about the Tao, definitely reach out to me over on Instagram. You can DM me at Martin John. And if you benefit from the work that I do, I always take financial support through Venmo at @MartinJohn_Garcia. So if you like the stuff that I'm talking about and I'm presenting, I would love to get your support. Um, Thank you again, Julie and Lois, my dear. You're both so beautiful in my heart. And yeah, we will be in touch later in the week. I will be here tomorrow talking about the Tao as well. So whenever you're with me, you're talking about the Tao. Until next time, keep recovering yourself.